Now, it's a Tuesday morning, and yesterday, on Monday, we just looked at some timber, moved the skid steer and Ranger home off the last job. Western Star is at Tag in Springfield, the dealership, getting some work done. One day last week, we noticed an oil leak coming from the air compressor area. Called those guys. I said, bring it down. They were ready to get it in, which we had... We had some logs we needed to haul. It wasn't a super major leak, but something that needed to be addressed. So we hauled Thursday and Friday morning with it. Brandon was hauling stave and pallet for me. Then Friday, right around 11 o'clock, we took it down there. They knew we were coming. Literally, I pulled right into a bay. That's how quick they got to it down there. Amazing service. Anyway, what we're doing today, I'm actually waiting on them to call me right now. We're going to go down and pick it up. I went ahead and had it serviced, even though we weren't anywhere near the actual interval yet, but no more miles than we put on it. I just went ahead and had it serviced now, oil filters and fuel filters. What we're doing now is I'm loading up all the attachments in 333. We're taking this to the new headquarters. I recently purchased a building and some land here. I know we were going to build there across the road. That's what I bought that for, but this come available, and I couldn't say no to it for what it was. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today getting some stuff moved from the yard here out there. And the great thing about it is, like my Fecon here, that thing will be kept inside. This shop is huge. So we'll go out there, take a look at that, and we're going to try to get some other stuff moved out there, start trying to make that transition out there. So we've got a lot of work to do on that this summer, but for now we're going to start getting some iron moved out there. I'd like to do my best Iron Mike Sharp right here and say, right, slapping the road like he does when he's loading and unloading. The guy's pretty cool. Anyway, this is the Trail King. I don't know if I've discussed that. Anyway, got a Trail King now. Same deal, 25 ton TK 50 LP. Got a lift axle on it, which that's what sold me on this, really, because that's what I wanted in a Beaver, and still would like to have someday in a Beaver. Other thing I like about this trailer here, we've got 3 foot more deck, so when we're hauling the 648s, they fit on the trailer a little better. But today, we're just getting the 548 here. We're taking it to the new headquarters. So let's go ahead and flip these ramps down. We'll get that thing loaded and glued down, get our banners on. We're gonna head to the new yard. So that's it on there. This is what I like. We got a lot of room up front here. That little bag you see there is for my oversized load banners and red flags. Anymore in my older age, I try to leave the outlaw stuff for the amateurs and the young kids. I try to just do everything as legal as possible. I don't like to cut any corners. Chaining everything we can, or where it's supposed to be chained, flagging, banners, beacons. Now this is a part that really interests me right here. Okay. Got a gauge here. Tells you where you're at on how many pounds you're running here. Tells you the load per axle. That's pretty slick. I was told not to, that's backwards, by the way, but you can see up, down, but they've got that backwards, or maybe they don't. Maybe I'm just dyslexic, who knows? I was told not to put that axle down until I'm loaded. And again, I was told not to run this machine with the axle down, or this trailer with the axle down, so no problem there. The one thing I did have more trouble with than anything was finding a good place to hook my oversized load sign or banner in the back. The Beaver had a good place to hook to. We might have to drill some holes to just make that a little smoother process. Again, we're not going very far with this. About 40 miles at the most back to the new headquarters. I'm gonna jump in here and away we go. We've arrived at the yard, but before we unload, go ahead and drop that. I like that. I like that a lot. So the new headquarters, big building. Over 10,000 square foot of office, or not office space, shop space, I'm sorry. Might as well be office. Shop will be my office. 10,000 square foot in this back part alone. There's actually 2 overhead crane systems in there. We'll go in and look at it. But sitting on 5 acres. Of course, all this right here, we're going to gravel all this out here, and this will be our log yard. Different property there where the storage buildings are. We're actually going to block that off. Well, you'll see some action about that in tomorrow's video. New entryway, which I've already contacted MoDOT about. Hopefully we'll put our new entryway in right here in the middle. We want it big and wide, that way we can get trailers in and out. Because this entrance up here, it's if you're coming in from the north here, this entrance up here would be kind of tricky to get into because it makes just kind of a 180 turn off the road and back here. But like I said, big shop. I can park the Star in there, park all the skidders in there. So today I moved the 440 out here, the 333 and the attachments. As you guys know, I left my small panel hitch out here. I'm going to leave the Trail King hooked up for tonight because tomorrow, again, we're going to go get some concrete blocks after work. You'll see what I mean by that. We're going to bring those out here. I'm going to get this skidder unloaded, and I'll probably leave it outside tonight, but tomorrow we'll get it indoors here. We want to do a little maintenance to it before we send it on its next job. Like I said, 10,000 square foot back here, 2,000 square foot up here in this actual office space area. This building's been a couple different things in my lifetime. I can remember it being an old metal foundry, which I can't remember how many years ago that's went out. That's why those big overhead fans are up there. Before it was what they called the Dollar Construction Building. Dollar Construction is one of the companies that did work here at the Stockton Lake project when it was being built back in the 60s and 70s. I actually had a great uncle that worked for Dollar Construction. Spoke pretty highly of them. So the building's, it's built heavy. It's built strong, all big iron, thick concrete. It should work well. I had a chance to buy this for cheaper than I could build what I was wanting to build on the plot of land I bought a year ago. So I went ahead and bought this. We're right here, just on the outskirts of Stockton. I can see one of the water towers there. The lake and town are just right over there. So we're just on the outskirts of Stockton. So this will work, and we're actually going to build living quarters up there in the top of that. It'll be kind of the condo, as we call it, with a little walkout that goes up on top of here. When you get on top of that, it's really a heck of a view that looks down the river valley there, back towards the lake and town. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Might have an open house someday. Keep your ears open for that. Coming off that trailer is a breeze, just like the Beaver. The Beaver is a low pro, I believe. This one is not a low pro trailer, which I don't know what the difference in height to be, just a couple inches, but as you fellas know, a couple inches can mean a lot sometimes. We're just going to back this 548 up to the door, and like I said, tomorrow we'll put it in there. We can park both 648s, this 548, the 440, the skid steer, the Western Star, my Ram trucks. We can pretty much park the whole fleet here. And give me just a second here. We'll go ahead and take a look at this bad boy on the inside. Before we go in, we'll take a look at this. So you can see at one time there was a door here and a door there. We're going to go back, and we're going to put those doors back in, garage doors, so we can actually get everything in there on its own separate little opener thing. And I'd like to pour a slab of concrete out here, kind of where the 333 is sitting. I'd like to do that. That way we kind of got a wash area, and there's another bay down there on a separate part of the building. It's all connected, but yeah, it should work pretty good. It's almost like MTV. It's almost like MTV Cribs in here. Like I said, this was an office space at one time. I haven't decided what I'll do with any of this yet. That's an office in there, office there. Big office space. Bathrooms down there. You can't imagine the storage in this building. We got a bunch of it. So, kick our lights on here. Walk down the old hallway. It's dark out here. Walk over here. This is something I really like. LED lighting in this shop. A lot of room in here. Like I said, overhead crane system. pretty cool. It'll come in handy. Me and Brandon have already talked about the next log bed build maybe taking place in here. I even got a forklift with it. Oh, I guess that other door's already there. We just need to go ahead and tear that metal off the front and yeah, put that other one in there. But yeah, I got a little forklift here. Nothing special, but it come with the place, so we'll use it to our advantage. Then double set of doors back here. Again, this place needs a little work. It's not like it was pristine, but for what it was and what I got with it, I can't complain. Big building. Big building here. We can definitely clean the place up a little bit, and it'll work out good for storing equipment, working on equipment, and that area up top there. That's going to be part of the little condo that we're going to build here that I'll eventually live here, hopefully in the months to come. So this concrete's real thick. I've been told that this in here was actually closer to 3, maybe 4 foot thick because the old pot, the smelting pot, was right in here. This building's caught fire a couple times, you can imagine, with metal foundry type things, hot stuff. I don't know. I just remember driving by this when I was a kid and smelling that stuff, kind of that hot metal smell. But powder coat room in there that we'll probably use that for part storage. I guess that was kind of like the break room in there. It's a bathroom. It looks like somebody probably got a little happy with the overhead crane swinging something into it. There's actually a shower already up there, but we're going to tear a bunch of stuff out up there when we start building, and it'll actually go out over the roof of the other. More storage in there, of course, right here. We can go on out. Take my security lock down. We can go on outside here. Back to where we were. So big building. Right here, we kind of got a lobby. We've already talked about getting a card table in here because we like to play pitch. So that's already been talked about here in the days to come. And then we're right back outside. So again, it should work good for what we want to do with it. The plan is just to take out this drive here completely. Once the new one's put in, we'll just have one way in and out. And, I'm going to have Brandon build a big set of metal gates that open automatically or on remote. That way we can kind of come and go as we please and not have any trespassers coming in. We've got to do a little dirt work out here to level this off for, like I said, the log yard, because this will be the new log yard out here. Even talking about putting in a loading ramp back there for containers. So a lot of things going to happen in the months to come. But that's kind of the rundown of the new headquarters here. You guys know I'd originally planned on building something, but again, when this come up for sale, a good friend of mine that we do a lot of business with in the real estate world, he had this, and I came out and looked at it and walked through it with him. I'm like, yeah, I think I need this. So here we are. Now we just gotta get it up and going. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future we don't have maybe a kind of an open house type deal where we invite people out. So keep your eye open for that.